Hey everybody, welcome to Unpopular Review, the NXT edition. Before they can stand and deliver, there's a roadblock standing in their way. Someone give me 5 points. Hey everyone, Badguy, Captain, we're here to review NXT, and we're going to review it right after the intro. Hey everybody, welcome to Unpopular Review, the NXT review show, review party, or party, whatever. It's one of the two. But either way, thank you guys for joining us for some NXT talk. I'm one of your hosts, Badguy Jack, joined with the amazing Captain Shaykesphere. Captain, why don't you tell the lovely people, how are you? If you unmute yourself. I feel like this is a running joke at this point.
Yeah,
it has to be.
You know what? Because the car just honked really loud, so I actually is a preemptive strike. So it was a good show, so I mean I can't complain. There's that. Yeah,
they had some pretty fun stuff. They had I kind of missed the opening when they did the Tiffany. She opened up the show. She was someone who opened up the thing, so I missed all of that part. When I came back in, I was able to catch the Jailhouse Rock match, or what I call the Jailhouse Rock match. But let's talk about it. Jailhouse, we had one Tony D'Angelo battling Dijak. You know, real quick, before we just somewhat break down this match, what did you think about this match, Captain?
This was a really, really good match. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, honestly. No shade. It's just like there was a lot of matches on the card, so I don't know, and I never really seen them lock horns, so it's kind of like it was a lot of uncertainty of just like, you know, you never know, the fear of not knowing. But they delivered so much. It's got to be one of my favorite matches. Maybe we could do like a ranking of all the matches later, but that definitely is my top two for sure.
Yeah, I thought they opened up pretty strong with this. When I came in, I was able to catch the match as it was in action. And I thought these guys really did pretty well. They did face each other one other time.
Remember?
That was, you know when that was? That was when, what happened? That's when Tony kissed Stacks and he said, "No, you're not. I'm not your boss. We're family." And that's why I think Dijak hit him with like that spin kick and he pinned him. So this was like the rematch between these two.
I forgot.
And well, it was a regular episode of NXT, so it's easy to forget. You know, fun. You know, just not to go too far off the air, right? I was on Twitter and I randomly was watching John Cena and Bret Hart together, and I said, "When the hell did this happen?" So it's easy to forget, like, you know, it's easy to forget like when things have happened. But I just want to mention this really cool spot from Dijak. Dijak is just a really, really athletic big dude. Like this guy he's just big and he can just do whatever he wants. I mean, this guy is what do you call them in Internals? A Celestials or something? I forget the name. The movie was awful. It's a name pretty much the same. They're inhuman. But Dijak hits the springboard elbow on Tony, and this spot I highlight this one because, you know, my man Dijak. Shout out to Dijak. You know, this guy he's out here. He's performing. He has a bad finger, and Tony D. I gotta say, this NXT crowd. I understand you now, Captain. This audience make me mad. Tony D'Angelo pulls Dijak's finger. Everyone knows it's injured. He took the cheap shot. Not a fan of cheaters. It's just not cool. I grew up where I was taught that that's not good. There was a spot, and I've seen some people write it on Twitter, where Tony, he pretty much have Dijak in the cage. But when Dijak, he has Stack is like Princess Peach. Like he's always in the way. He gets caught. He has the headlock, and Dijak's like, "Yeah, close the cage, close it. Go ahead." He has him in the headlock, and you see Tony just going, and then he starts beating him up. The crowd was really behind Tony. They were chanting for him. Tony was really the babyface. Something you mentioned, I think, last week when I was like, "Well, because they're both heels to me. But I'm saying one of them come off more babyface. So Tony was someone, he was getting a lot of the chats. I mean, there was a chant for him, and Tony D'Angelo gets the win. I don't know if this means he's going to be next in line for the North American Championship, but it's a big win for Tony. And I don't know. Do you feel like this was such a much needed win for Tony?
Absolutely. I feel like everyone who was on that team, you know, the team from the War Games, has gone in different directions, but I feel like now they're starting to get back where they need to be. You know, Grayson's doing his thing. You know, he's got himself a match at Stand and Deliver, but we'll get to that. You know, you got Braun, you got Melo, they're in their spot, and like Tony was kind of falling behind, but that wasn't his fault because, you know, he got injured, and that definitely set him back. But I'm glad that he's getting back on that role because I think they all are, you know, a very talented group of individuals, and I want to see them all thrive. So now Tony can get back on his track because, you know, obviously things, you know, weren't like that when he was injured. But honestly, I think Stacks is going to hold the fact that he hesitated against him. I really do, because why would you hesitate? Excuse me? If you're my friend and you're hesitating to save me over locking me in a cage with a psychopath, we're going to have a conversation later. I'm sorry.
You're going to have a conversation. I mean, listen, Tony saved his friend. I mean, he might have hesitated, but he did save him at the end of the day. And also, too, Stack kept getting in the way. But I do got to give it up to Stacks, though. Though I did say this. He was the MVP in this match. Every time Tony was close to being locked in that cage, this is one spot, and I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it. But when he was just getting ready to close the cage, Stacks just jumped in the middle and got the door closed on his ribs. So, yeah, I guess I could kind of agree with what you're saying where, yeah, what do you mean you hesitated? After all I have done to make sure to protect you, Tony D, lowercase d.
I also want to talk about, I think, I forgot what it was. It was like a suplex or something, some type of inverted suplex off of the top rope that Tony D did to Dijak onto those chairs. I loved it. I just have to point it out. I could not continue on without mentioning it. Like, Tony does not get a lot of credit for his in-ring ability. I think because his character is so powerful and he does it so well, people just kind of focus on him as a character, not the fact that he really delivers inside of that ring.
And I also think, too, with Tony, too, he has grown a lot. Because, like, for me, I didn't see the in-ring work. I saw the character. The character definitely stood out. It's something you would say, like, a strong point. That's, like, his strongest suit. But his in-ring stuff, not so much. But I felt like I saw a lot more in-ring, like the intensity was there. And not even just in this match. It was a match he had some time back. I don't know if it was with Wesley or something like that. But there's been a few matches where I said, oh, he's a lot more better than I give credit for. So shout out to him. He gets the win. And we got to see where that goes from there. Like I said earlier, I don't know if that means he's going to go for the North American Championship. But we'll see what happens. But it's a big win, or a big win for one, Tony D. You want to get into the chat? I see you clicking the chat, but what did you click? I want to make sure I was catching up on some of the stuff because I didn't see Tony Stacks for NXT. Nah, I wouldn't put the tag.
They would have to get through the Creed brothers, Pretty Deadly, and Gallus. That is a lot. That is a lot.
And then they would. No, and I agree. I just think there's a lot of tag teams ahead of them and Pretty Deadly. Not that I know anything. I don't know for sure. But I feel like Pretty Deadly is going to be called up pretty soon. So, I mean, you leave the door. I wasn't even trying to be funny. I know that came off. I know, because I saw you roll your eyes. But you're just always prepared to roll your eyes at me. Like,
come on, that's pretty funny.
Well, you know, not for nothing. I did win Funniest Host. And I plan on winning for the 5th time this year. But I'm just saying there's a lot of other teams ahead of them where I wouldn't put the titles on them. I wouldn't put them on. I mean, put them in the division, sure, but I wouldn't put the titles on them. Do you think there's going to be a new? I do. I think Melo is taking that title off him. I do.
Yeah,
I agree. Sure. I think that. I said I agree. I mean, I agree with myself. Sorry, but the next thing we got, speaking of Pretty Deadly, Dad. Excuse me. They had a segment with Gallus. Gallus.
A chin wag. A chin wag, as they say.
A chin wag. Oh, that was what they called him. A chin wag.
Yeah.
The chin wag. That is hilarious. That's What is a chin wag? I need to know that.
You know, wagging your chin when you talk.
Oh, that's awful. That's terrible. I'm using that as an insult tomorrow at work. Like, you chin wag. I don't know who I'm going to use it on. I'm going to use that on somebody. Someone hashtag that chin wag someone in the chat so I can remember. But they have a segment with Gallus. Gallus is just like, they just want to beat up people, dude. Like, Dijak has a broken finger and wrestling. Yes! Let's give this man, I wouldn't give him his flowers because I don't know if he can hold it with that broken finger, but let's acknowledge that this man went out there with a broken finger. Do you know what I would do with a broken finger? Call out of work. I'm not showing up. I am not showing up to work. Like, hey, you want me to what? You can kiss my ass.
That could be his slogan now. It's like, I put on match of the night with a broken fucking finger. Sorry.
I don't know if they can say that part.
Freaking.
Kurt Angle is somewhere saying, get my lawyers. But you know, the picture of the shirt would be hideous, by the way. Broken freaking finger. You see the finger like this. I would not buy that shirt, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. But Pretty Deadly, they called them, what was the name again? I'm sorry, madam. What was the name? It was Chin what?
Chin wagging.
Yeah, chin wagging. They're calling Gallus all kinds of names. Gallus is like, what's it take for you guys to get in this ring? Because they want to beat him up. They're like, and last time when they were in the ring, all four of these men, Pretty Deadly showed a much deadlier side and laid out Gallus. So Gallus wanted to get their revenge. Gallus, the one thing I learned, not even one, the few things I learned about Gallus, right? Because I know they were in NXT UK. Didn't watch a whole lot of them because I just didn't watch NXT UK. But something I learned from them is they like to fight, they like to drink, and they like to fight.
Oh my God, you know what it reminds me of?
Sure, tell me.
My name is Finley, and I love to fight.
Oh, no, the music was like, oh, da, da, da. I remember the music because, like, I always feuded with him in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. I said, Philly, leave me alone. Like, Philly would always come after me. I heard that music because I was always laid out by Fit Finley. It was ridiculous. Let's keep it PG. That's very PG. That was hilarious. We gotta clip that. That is great.
It just came out, I swear.
It just flew out. I saw the wings.
It's too much chin wagging from me. That's all.
We're on fire tonight, folks. But yeah, eventually not Pretty Dead. I'm sorry. Gallus, they put the titles in the middle of the ring. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was a screen code right there. If you look in the chat under there, I thought that was a freaking screen. I'm about to say, I know freaking Bray Wyatt is not here trying to attack us. I was about to put Finley first. I want to see Shawn Michaels wrestling. I mean, and I think, and truth of the matter is this: I believe the man can still go. I really do. I believe he can still go, but I believe the man also. That last match that he had, I forget how many years ago, but he was the MVP of that match. But it was DX against Brothers of Destruction. He was the MVP, but I don't think he wants to get back in the ring. I think he pretty much want to, and I respect that though. I truth of the matter respect that so much because, like, you want to be remembered for. We talked about this on the Big Pop on Sunday, and you know Bill Goldberg, and I was mentioning they mentioned how he's owed a retirement match. I feel like the many times that he got back in the ring since, just I don't want to say diminished because he's still a name, you know, Goldberg's still a name, but the mystique of Goldberg, it kind of fades as time goes on, if that makes sense, you know, like that last time he was in the ring with Dolph Ziggler, I said this when he was in the ring, he should have ended it right there, but no, he wants to get in the ring with Bray Wyatt, and he hits a powerful enough suplex because that wasn't a jackhammer. Then he gets dominated by Roman Reigns, who. I mean, not for nothing. Roman Reigns, everybody who's been in the ring, he's been in the ring with, he's dominated. So it's not really his fault. Sorry. Anybody who wanted to go for the championship and get dominated. But
oh my gosh. I can't with you. I can. But I think what the issue is with Goldberg is his style of wrestling and his what he does, how he goes about it was something I feel like that was acceptable back then, and I think the fan base didn't really care that much. Like they cared more about the spectacle aspect of him. But I think now this generation of wrestling fans, they require more. They want more. As you can see, they are not really that big of a fan of the fast, matches. They like those long, drawn out, like, it's just a different audience.
It's such a different time, and I think also too the way Goldberg's matches were created. I mean, he pretty much was in there for under 2 minutes. I mean, and I guess some matches, under 10, because he had matches that were like 10 minutes and stuff like that. But his matches are really under 5 minutes. So when you're having him in a match against Roman Reigns and he's in there for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and he's also older too. I just feel like you want to protect that legacy that you had. And every time he gets in the ring, it just, I don't know. And with Shawn Michaels, I just feel like he knows, like, hey, my best years are behind me. I could go out there, but it just won't be the same. You remember, and I don't mean to go too far off track, but you remember they were teasing, not WWE, but the internet, because there was this mock poster between him and Shawn Michaels. I mean, AJ and Shawn Michaels. And not for nothing, I remember I was kind of like, yo, that would be dope. That would be dope. But I respect what Shawn didn't do it. He said like it was some kind of table for three, and he mentioned something. You guys gotta check that out. But to get back on track, I do apologize about going completely off track. Gallus left the titles in the ring pretty deadly. It was like, because they're fools, they said, oh, that's it, that's all it takes. And when they got in the ring, they got beat up by Gallus. I don't know, did you want to add anything to the segment?
I don't know how they allowed themselves to be tricked like that, but you know what? At least they were dressed very well, as they always are.
They do.
Gallus, I don't know what the outfit was. It was giving Applebee's server, but it was still working for them. So,
can I just say,
pretty deadly win though. Sorry.
No, I do apologize. No, when you said Applebee's, I just wanted to throw out, they are the most violent looking Applebee's waiters I've ever seen in my life, because if they said, what do you want? I would have said, I would just want to live. Like, bro, like the way you yelling at me, I just want to live. But
they're just going to throw the artichoke dip in your face. Like, here.
And then what are you going to do? Complain? These guys will be waiting in the parking lot for you.
Yeah,
you kidding me? But the next match, let me just get the picture up before we go any further. The next match we got here is this match right here. We had the Creed brothers and Braun Breaker. I don't know why I almost said Bronson Reed. I apologize. Against Indus and Jinder Mahal. I pretty much called. So if I can real quick, right? I saw on their Twitter, they said, name this team. It was Braun Breaker and the Creeds, right? You know what I called them? I called them the Wolf Pack. You get it? Wolf. H-Man, if you're in the chat, please give me 5 points.
Enough is enough. Stop the violence.
No, keep it going. But we have this match. I mean, I pretty much called the Creeds and Braun the Avengers. None of them could be Tony, by the way. Honestly, none of them could be Tony. None of them could. Who would be Tony? I see you already like lit your eyes up. None of them could be Tony. Wow, Ginger's.
No, gosh.
This match was just pretty much. It was good though. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was in the share. What we got? Well, they serving baby back. They might have threw it at your face. Actually, I don't think they served it. I feel like they actually fought the food before the food was served to you. I think that's the vibes I get from Gallus. Gallus just seem like they just don't take no order. Like if they were with Thanos,
that's better. That's a better
Creed name. Breakers. How come I never get any points? Is anybody in the chat? Charmaine, I know you're listening. Give me 5 points.
No, don't give him 5 points.
No, Charmaine, give me 5 points. If you want to be my friend again.
I'm to you. Don't.
I'm
give him negative 500.
Damn, negative 500? That's a lot of like negative. But the Creed, Braun and the Creeds, they do get the win. I like the finish. I mean, it was a unique unique Doomsday. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm mixing up the name. Not Brutus. Julius lift up one. I was surprised by Veer taking the pin here because Veer hasn't been pinned. I don't know how long, but for a period they were like really talking about how he was undefeated. So Julius picks up Veer, and Brutus hits the Brutus cannon or Brutus bomb, and which is hilarious because it's just like this big guy jumping off the turnbuckle, and they pin Veer. And I feel like they're definitely going to have another rematch at Stand and Deliver. I just think they wanted to give the Creeds their win back so they could be tied evenly. What did you think about this match, Captain?
No, I really enjoyed it. I think that the Creeds and Braun were really pulling it out. And I'm just, oh my God, that crowd, I can't take them. I can't take them much longer. Is there a way for them to there has to be what they need to implement. And you know what? I don't even feel bad because they're like, oh my God, they're taking away our freedom because you guys deserve it because you do too much. You do too much. So what they should do is put on, you only could do one show a month. And I'm dead serious because that's where they have me at. One show a month. You have to have a stamp that says that you already did your one show. And then you have new people because you have the same people in here with their same toxic, annoying ass. Let's just boo for the fun of it. Foolishness. So now we need to put some rules in order because you guys don't know how to act. I'm dead serious. I'm so over them. Honestly, they booing him for what? He just I don't know. And then they started booing the Creeds just cause. I'm like, you guys are childish. That's childish, really, actually. That's all I have to say. Great match, and I'm glad that they won. Real great. I love that. Winning in the face of those rude fans.
You know, I do just want to throw out real quick that when I saw her tweet that said, now they're booing the Creeds, I already knew what kind of show that was going to happen tonight. I knew that she was not going to be a fan of this crowd. And we got RJ. What up, RJ? Fans are fickle. Kevin Owens was right. RJ says that. What's going on?
Star next to it and say NXT fans are fickle. There's a star.
But the Creeds.
Hi, RJ. Well.
we got, but the Creeds and Braun get the win. We had Mello on commentary. I don't know what it is. The weather down there is so baffling to me. Because it looks like it's a warm. I always assumed Florida is warm. But everyone's wearing a turtleneck. I don't know what's going on down there. I really don't want to go down there. One Mike Knox, shout out to Mike Knox. You can catch him on Monday nights here on the Unpopular Review channel. He's great. Kinda. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take an X from him. But he tried to get me to come down there in Florida because they have a Jack in the Box, which I became a big fan of last year when I went for WrestleMania. But you can't get me out there to Florida. I've seen what goes on in Florida, especially that NXT parking lot. I'm not stupid. But yeah, they get the win. Mello's out there. And we'll see Mello again, Mello and Braun back out there together. But let's talk about this Grayson Waller effect. For the longest time, one Grayson Waller, he'd been wanting to get his one-on-one with one Shawn Michaels, who has been screwing Grayson Waller. And you know what? I got to give it up to Grayson Waller. First off, he just demolished Shawn Michaels on the mic. I mean, he really... Mike said some things. Michael said some things. They were cute. But I sat here and I yawned. And I sat here. But as soon as Grayson started talking, I believed it. First off, he opened up with, I'm a Bret Hart guy. So I immediately said, let's go. Okay, now we're cooking with vegan butter, which is better for you. Shawn Michaels tried his best, but it's not 1990 anymore, Shawn. You try to say things. You're an older man. But Grayson just sat here and dominated him on the mic. took shots at him. He talked about, hey, Shawn, the only reason you're here is because of your best friend. And your friend had a, I couldn't believe he went that far. He mentioned about the heart attack. I was like, Grayson, you might have to chill, bro. You still gotta get checks so you can eat food and live in a house. You might want to chill a little bit with that. But what is Shawn? How did Shawn Michaels dominate? How did he dominate? You're lying. You're clearly lying.
He's not lying.
How did he dominate? He said things.
He said he was cooking.
Shawn Michaels. What was Shawn Michaels must have been cooking. What was he cooking? Burnt eggs?
You were saying Grayson was cooking.
He was cooking.
Grayson was cooking. Last time I let Grayson cook, he burned the house down. I don't know what you're talking about. He wasn't cooking nothing.
Well, I don't know why you trust him. I don't know why you trust him to cook in your house, but I'm sitting there saying verbally he was destroying.
He literally told Shawn, literally got in his face and said, "Jump, bitch," and he didn't.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that. Not born. No. Not born again. Shawn Michaels didn't say that. Born again. Shawn Michaels didn't say that. If this was 1997, 1998, I would have said yeah, and then Shawn Michaels would have got whooped because you know what? When he got in someone's face one time, they hung him up and said what? No. Grayson verbally destroyed him.
No.
Grayson wanted a match with this guy. Shawn Michaels took his jacket off. I immediately said, Mikes, please put the jacket on. No. Stop embarrassing yourself. But he took the jacket off and he said, I know you want a match with me and all that stuff. You know, because Shawn Michaels always sounds like he needs a cough drop. And he said, but I know somebody else who really bleeds. And then Johnny Gargano comes out, and I sit here and go like, yo, bro, you couldn't mind your business? Can't you just sit here and get your ass kicked by Bronson Reed on the main roster? But no, you want to come back to NXT. Now you want to get your comeuppance? What? Now, after a whole year, now you want to get some of the Waller? No, absolutely. No. Grayson. And then you know what bothers me too? I know you guys will appreciate this. Vic sits there on the mic and said, yeah, get him, Johnny. But where were you when Johnny Gargano was getting his ass kicked all them time ago? No, that's not.
A wrestler?
Who?
Is he a wrestler?
I'm sorry. Yeah. So let me tell you what I've learned out here in the streets. You don't run your mouth unless you have hands. And last time I checked, he don't have hands. He can't write poetry. And you know, I don't know what this lady's name is, seeing him. But you know, Johnny Gargano comes out, he gets a little bit of his look in and whatever, because Shawn Michaels is scared of Grayson Waller. And I can see why he's scared, you know, because I understand that he would get wrecked and he would get once again dominated. But Shay Soy, I will give you the floor after I have taken over and told the truth. I wanted my truth to get out here because this actually really made me mad when I saw Johnny Gargano. I cheered for you, bro, when your theme changed. Now, see, a lot of people turned on you when your theme changed, but I stuck by you. But then you come out here with this unnecessary remix version of the song. I'm not a fan of it, but go ahead, Captain.
I don't know what you be talking about. You have got to stop. Anyways, Shawn Michaels bitched Grayson out. Grayson went through all these lengths just to have a chance to ask him if he wanted to have a match with him at Stand and Deliver. So I don't know. One's chasing because he already know what that name give. The other's not chasing because he don't know what this name give. It's not giving much. It's giving wall. It's giving wall. Nothing. It's giving HBK. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Johnny Gargano, I'm very happy that he came back to get his lick back. I mean, he doesn't have a match at Mania, so, you know, as he should. And he's going to beat the brakes off of Grayson. Grayson is going to get beat down. I'm realizing that Grayson is basically the Miz for NXT, 100%.
He is.
And Johnny loves beating up the Miz. Clearly.
Yeah, that's the only person Johnny Gargano can beat up. Because Johnny Gargano sucks. And I used to be a big fan of Johnny Gargano. But he let me down tonight. I'm really upset. I hope Candace changed the locks. And you, I hope that you're taught a lesson. And I'm really bothered by this. You know, I thought he would be a great role model.
That is, don't do that to Johnny. Don't put him with that.
I like this RJ guy. RJ, expect the shirt to join the Jetpack community, the Empire. You're a part of it. Thank you for understanding this. See, he understands.
You just grab people. Like, this is
scary. I have.
You just grab people in the middle of the streets, be like, you're a part of the Jetpack community.
Yes, like, I do. I'm trying to get my mother involved, and she just keeps saying, and she keeps just laughing at me. And I'm like, I'm not laughing, Mom. Just do something good for once in your life with me, please.
No. that would not be
except that one time. I do want to throw out here because there was this incident at AEW with MJF, and he threw this cup in this kid's face. And I said, Mama Badguy would not have allowed that with me, because you know what? Once upon a time when I was in school, this principal, he thought he was big time, just a bully, and he made me cry. I told my mother, who is 5'7", and I don't know, I feel like she gets bigger every day, and she went up to this principal, this white dude. Mm-hmm. That principal was probably 5'6", his actual height. When I saw him, he was like 4'2". You don't mess with Mama Badguy. So I'm going to give her props there. Let's get that hashtag Mama Badguy. But let's keep going. Grayson is going to have a match with Johnny Gargano, which is great. You know, listen, Shawn Michaels, he mentioned Shawn Michaels mentioned all the past NXT wrestlers. He said Rhea Ripley.
What did you say first?
I forgot. He said a bunch of names.
You surely didn't.
No, I don't remember.
You surely didn't.
I don't know. I think he did. What was it? I remember him saying someone got dominated.
Finn Balor.
Oh, right.
Games.
No, he did. Right. No, I immediately remember that, because I was like, the guy who got dominated by the tribal chief. He did say that. You're right.
Saying this, like, it's not the truth. Like, we already know the rope dominated Finn. Like, let's be serious here. The rope. The top rope dominated Finn. If anybody, everyone was laid out. Like, let's be serious here. Everyone, look at the rope.
Oh!
Look at the fucking rope in the back.
Oh!
Stop making that noise. I'm pressing charges.
I'm sorry that Finn got down. Listen, I'm sorry. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. Stop yelling at me, by the way. I don't think people like this. What we got here? Johnny Gargano does not suck. Watch it.
Yep.
By the way, NXT women. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I plan on that game comes out next week. I have not preserved it or anything like that, but I plan on getting that and hopefully do some Twitch on that because 2K22 is at the end. What we got? By the way, NXT women, what we got?
Sure.
Shay would catch a Finn's name. Yeah, but I mean, you gotta remove not George. You know what it is, George? You know what it is? George have
you to watch the match back sitting next to me, and I want you to specifically pinpoint where the domination is, and you're not gonna be able to.
I am. I always listen. I yes, I am. You want me to? I will watch that match with you, and I'm gonna sit here and say right here.
You know what, guys? This is worse delusion than what Logan Paul was spitting yesterday. Honestly, it really is. I've done everything you've done in a year. What titles you had? What is he okay?
What title? Yeah, I can tell you, asshole.
And that's about it.
And
so I don't know what he was talking about. Like that, I can't.
Let's move on to the next segment because you're just getting very violent here, and you're cussing a lot here, and it's just baffling here. But we have the Toxic Attraction match. We have Gigi Dolins against Jacy James. I'm going to be quite honest. I was not feeling this match. I just wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't hitting for me. Matter of fact, I understand why. Because at first I was kind of like, why is it a singles? I mean, not why is it a singles match, but why is it a regular match? This is a blood feud. But I can understand you want to build to that, and that's fine. But this match just wasn't it for me. You were talking about rankings or ratings earlier, and this probably got the lowest for me. The ending, it was just so sudden. I didn't even think that finish looked good. I feel like this is not the end. I know this is not the end. They're probably gonna have like some kind of street fight, hardcore, however you want to word it. And I think then they're gonna deliver a lot more. But this first encounter for me just didn't do it for me. But Kat, please take the matter of fact, I do want to give you props because you have a good eye on things, and you mentioned something about Gigi, and you were saying when she gets her cardio, and I didn't get a chance to ask you privately, but did you feel like she got winded?
No.
Okay. No, I just wanted to ask because you said cardio. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So I mean, the match definitely was slow. I think that maybe they're trying to save the better match for Stand and Deliver, and they didn't want to go too hard because I definitely think there'll be a match of Stand and Deliver. I also feel like the ending was very sudden. maybe she needs to have like a different finisher, because I think that was like an abdominal stretch slam. And it just, I don't know, maybe the setup just needs to be better for it. I think it's a pretty move. It's just, it came out of nowhere. And I think they just needed more time, maybe, and just a little bit more. I don't know. It just felt like they were holding back. That's what it felt like. It 100% felt like they were holding back for a later date. I don't know who is knocking. Like, I can't. But yeah, that's my only thing. But I'm happy Gigi won because period. That just makes me wonder who's gonna win at Stand and Deliver, though.
I would think that
because I feel like they're gonna have quite a few matches, so I see Jacy Jayne winning the next one. It reminds me a little bit, and I said this before. It reminded me a little bit of when it reminded me a little bit of Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. You know, they had that one match in Stand and Deliver. I think it was Stand and Deliver, right? They had that one match, and then there was another match, and so I feel like there's gonna be three. It wasn't the page turner, because the page turner is more of like you hold the arm and the leg and then you turn them like that. This was like how the Cap said, was like an abdominal, because I thought it was a domino and then she just fell back. I did see someone say, yeah, everybody's talking about the Max Jacob. Yeah, everyone is. It's quite an incident. What was I gonna get at? Maybe it just the move just didn't look good to me. It felt like it's a filling out process. Yeah. Someone, I think it was Jeffrey, who wrote in the chat, if you go up a little bit higher, he wrote that it was a test match. And right, I'm just saying, but this match didn't, deliver for me. But it doesn't mean that this feud is dead in the water and this is awful. And it doesn't mean any of that stuff. It just means this first encounter just wasn't it for me. And maybe the next counter will be a lot more. I mean, something. Also, too, when they were showing like the clips, like the highlight on this feud, not for nothing, I know Jacy Jayne is the heel in this match, but Gigi was just as bad, because there was some parts where she was rolling her eyes constantly at Jacy. I mean, both of these girls didn't like each other for a period. There was a few clips. No, there were actually a few times where you saw her looking at Jacy like, ugh. And I mean, one of them had to be the baby. Gigi's the baby. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just pointing out, like, both of these girls were just as bad. And it just happened to be Jacy pulled the trigger a lot faster than Gigi. That's all.
I guess that's another clip I might have to watch back with you. What's the next
segment? Can you not do that? I don't want to know, because I'm scared to watch it.
It was like 3 times Jacy looked giving eyes to Gigi. I didn't.
And Jacy definitely did. She definitely was giving the eyes. Jacy was definitely.
So what's the next segment?
The next segment we got here is Braun and Melo. Let's talk about it. They've I said confirm. Do we have a picture of that? Yeah, we do. Let's do it right here. Braun comes out. He says, let's stop playing the games. The baby. Oh my God. Braun comes out and he says, let's stop playing the games. No more hoops, no more. Let's do it. Melo come out here. Melo comes out here with his turtleneck. Once again, the weather out there is baffling. I'm sorry, I was trying to get that down. And Braun says some things. He says, like, every time the music would play, when someone would come out, he was always hoping it'd be Melo, but it wasn't Melo, it was somebody else, and he was disappointed. And they talked about how they were kept away from each other. Melo opens up the show, Braun ends the show. And I mean, this was something I was saying for the longest time. It just had to be Melo against Braun. I said before, I thought they were going to do it in January, but then they did this other route. And I said, well, that's cool, because then for Stand and Deliver, this makes sense, because this is the biggest match you can do for Stand and Deliver. There was nobody else that could have been in this role that wasn't Melo. There was nobody else. And I just look and say, I'm really excited about this encounter between these two. I think it's going to be great. You got two guys from NXT that they built this brand around. They even talked about when they were doing the relaunch and changing NXT. They were like, these were the two people they were talking about. They were talking to Braun and Melo, and Melo was talking about, I think he said somewhere in August. I forget exactly what the exact day. And there's a big deal for me in August, because I'm born in August. And when I heard August, I said, yeah, I was excited. And, this is going to be a good match. So they confirmed it that this is going to be at Stand and Deliver. What did you think about the segment, madam?
I thought it was a long time coming. I thought that, they both got their words out. I'm excited. I think they're going to have a great match. And yes, I do think after this, Braun will be probably going to the main roster. I just don't see what else he could possibly do in NXT. I'm just excited to see where he goes and how they book him. And I hope that they are delicate and they take their time with him, because I do think he's a very talented individual and needs to be handled with care.
And that is well said. The very next segment that we have here is we got, if Braun retains, I wouldn't be upset.
Agree.
Okay. And also too, Jeffrey pointed out that both boys, they did. They shook hands. And I love what Melo said. He said, I don't play second to nobody. And I said, go ahead, boy. Go ahead. You don't play second. So it's going to be good. These two guys are going to deliver at Stand and Deliver. It's going to be great to see that. The next thing we got here is Joe Gacy against Fans Boo and Braun when he came out.
Are we doing the segments after all the matches?
Sure. Is there a segment that I forgot? Because I don't think which one? Please take the floor. Please.
So it was Fallon and Jensen backstage. Jensen finally apologized to Fallon for her being nosy. Like, it's ridiculous. I think she likes him because it's like, why are you so invested? It's too much. It's too much. I don't care if that's your friend. It's still too much. You're doing a lot. It's annoying, actually. I think Briggs is like, I don't like that, Briggs is feeling like the flowers that were sent to Kiana were not from Jensen, but he doesn't care because he cares more about getting Jensen in the right mind frame so that they can win matches. That's selfish. You're not a good friend, Briggs. That's what I have to say. And I definitely feel like those flowers on Kiana's desk 100% said Kyle. So I'm a little confused. We also got a video package for Valkyria. So I'm assuming after she'll be showing her face, because she hasn't been on NXT last few weeks. She's been more on Level Up. So I'm excited because, again, she was someone who knew who came in. So I want to see more of her and see where she goes. I think she's talented. And we also had Dragunov talking about how much he hates JD and how he thinks that he's a jerk and he only wants to break people's bones. Mind you, he was the one that hurt his eye. It's crazy to me.
I'm glad that you mentioned segments. I'm trying to see if and I know we have it somewhere in there. I'm looking for it because I know. Oh, here we go. We had someone in the crowd. You want to talk about it? We had
Dragon Lee. Mm-hmm. And we had heard that he was signed, and we were just wondering when he was going to show up. I think many assumed he'd probably be in the audience for more Stand and Deliver, but I'm not going to complain. I'm just happy to see him. Obviously we're familiar with him from ROH, CMLL. Woo! And New Japan as well. So I know that he's going to bring it. I'm excited. And it was really cool that he was in, the audience, because I think it was a way of trying to say, like, this is a big deal, because usually they only have like their new prospects in the audience for big deal things. So I like that he was there. Are you excited about Dragon Lee?
I'm not familiar with his work, but I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. So I am excited to see what he can do. I think I've seen maybe one match of his and stuff like that, but I'm excited to see what happens with him in NXT. Matter of fact, a lot of people thought that that he was going to be the guy for Shawn Michaels. He was going to represent Shawn Michaels. That would have been a great way to bring him in, but it's still fine nonetheless. But I am excited to see what Dragon Lee brings to the table.
I personally, I get what you mean, because I think that would have been a great way to pull him in as well. Sure. But I do feel like I'm happy with how things went, because I feel like there's a long-term story there with Johnny and Grayson. And it's something that we wrapped up, and Johnny can put hands and feet, hopefully, on Grayson. And that'd be great. And we have, this match for, Stand and Deliver. I'm really excited about that. And this one as well.
No, and I could, that's going to be great. That's going to be a good one. And I concur with that. It's a long story long-term story booking. I apologize. That was so bad, but yes, and it's good that they finally touched on that because it's been so long, and now Johnny wants his. I don't like that he's representing Sean, but it's going to be a great match nonetheless. So, what else do we got? Oh, let's talk about. You want to talk about the segment a little bit? We got George. Thank you, George, for mentioning this. You talked about Alpha and Aladon want the NXT Women Tag Team Championship. I want them to take them off Kiana James and Fallon Henley. I believe that they're definitely going to do that. I believe, nonetheless, like Fallon Henley and Kiana James, they're just title holders right now. They're just holding the title. But I could see these girls or the Sister of Destruction take over and take the titles.
Yeah, I don't know what it is lately. The Reds are all just teaming up and like causing ruckus lately. I love it though. I love me a good redhead.
I'm not a fan of that. I take the E train. I saw 2 redheads and I said, I'm not getting on this train. I immediately said I will take the next card. You know how violent that E train can get. Well, let's talk about is that all the segments, Captain?
I believe that is. So now we can move. Oh, we also have Tyler Bate doing his yoga.
He's such a hippie.
Yeah, he is. You know, hey, good for him. He seems more peaceful. But he was trying to help Thea, who's clearly losing her mind because Ava Raine, she dressed her up as an emo kid, and it was too much for her to handle. She couldn't handle the Kyle. So
the what?
Yeah, Kyle, you know. Yes. So Tyler was trying to be helpful. I thought it was cute. I definitely felt like it wasn't gonna work. And Duke was being negative again. He's getting on my nerves, but I think we can touch on that in the next match, right?
Sure, whatever.
You are sick. You are sick.
I am, and that's why I've been having. Look right here. UPR is responsible. Is represented by Vix. Yeah, I am sick. I'm trying to get better because of this nonsense that you are trying to display.
Anyways, next match. Andre Chase versus Joe Gacy. That is a scary smile every time I look because he's like looking into my spirit, and it's very terrifying.
I'm not gonna lie, Joe Gacy, that smile, it's like, you know, when you go into one of those booths and you're changing your clothes and you turn around, he's right there. That's the kind of smile I'm getting, and that's not good. That's not good.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. But go ahead. You wanna lead on this one?
I feel like this match is very basic. Nothing really stood out to me. Like, you know, it was just kind of their basic moveset. Nothing really over the top. The only thing was Thea Hale yelling in Ava Raine's face and Ava just looking at her with that sadistic, calm smile and just unfazed. Like, that's scary how she does that. You know, the facial expressions are very on point with Ava. Thea, girl, you have to get this together. But also, Duke, shut up. Literally, but we'll talk about after because I literally am so over him because it's like, you brought yourself into this. You brought yourself into Chase U. Nobody invited you. Nobody called you. Nobody asked you. You brought yourself. So why are you here? Like, ew. Find your.
He's here. No. I'm hearing some things, and I didn't want to cut you. No. Duke's here is trying to strengthen Andre Chase. Listen, you talked about this match. This match is basic. Let me ask you real quick. Who won the match? Joe Gacy. Not Andre Chase. That's who didn't win. He got his ass kicked. There was Andre's. Duke was there to watch him get his ass kicked. He's sitting there and he's
I said, what has Duke been winning? What has Duke been winning? I want to know.
Duke has just been winning in life. How dare you? He's been winning at life. Can't say the same for one Chase University. Andre's ass juice was in the ring. It's sickening because he's getting his ass kicked. That's what happened. That's what I'm talking about. Jack Pack's favorite son. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, let's get that hashtag Jack Pack Empire. Duke didn't apply for Chase U. He didn't have to. He just walked in because it's the door was open, so he went in there. That's what happened. But you said and you talk about Duke. I even wrote you. I said, you're going to blame Duke for Andre's loss, right? When it was Thea who went into Ava's face, started screaming in her face, distracting Andre Chase because Andre Chase is a cat. He's easily distracted. and who got say it with me, everyone, dominated by Joe Gacy. Sorry. Sometimes in life you don't get rainbows and unicorns. Sometimes you step on a thumbtack and you have to go to the emergency room. Sorry. Take the floor.
Okay. So yeah, Duke is all, you guys suck, and all this berating. So leave. Take your sweaty headband and leave. Get out if you feel that way. I'm so sick of it. And if I see him next week sitting in the class and his big self in one of them seats, I'm really gonna have some questions, because I'm like, you were the one saying how it was so terrible here. So get out. Get the hell out of here.
To be fair, right? I say that about my job every day, and I keep showing. But no, I mean, listen, I think he should leave. I do think he should leave. I think he should take his talents and his winnings elsewhere, because obviously he's just been winning. I just wish
in the ring though.
Okay, but I'm telling you, he's winning. I just need you to listen to me. I don't need you to do that ever again in your life to me.
I'm waiting for the match. Can you tell me when he won in the ring?
So he hasn't had a lot of singles matches because Andre has been holding him back like an anchor, or what some people would call Andre Chase. Duke is like the Titanic, right? And Andre is like that iceberg that just got in the way. So I'm just saying, and look at the tag matches, right? When they had tag matches, who's been getting pinned the most? One, Andre Chase, the iceberg. Yes.
But why is Andre getting in the way? You know what? He wouldn't have gotten in the way if he didn't walk his ass into Chase University uninvited, mind you. He wouldn't have no iceberg. He would have himself. Correct?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you was going to say, and I thought he would have got away with it without the meddling kids or something like that. I know she didn't just bust out a Scooby-Doo reference. Not now. Because I would lose my mind.
Facts. That's it. I only got facts to bust out.
No. I just think there's a lot of yelling going on here. But I do hope Duke gets out of there. I did like we called him an institution of losers, because they are.
Get into it, Jeffrey. Get into it.
What does Jeffrey know? All he does is plays drums. All you do is play. Listen, Jeffrey, this is why you're not getting a shirt for the Jack Pack Empire, because of behavior like this. It's not very Jackie. That's the best I could do, because I couldn't think of someone with Uzi. But let's talk about Meiko. Is it Meiko? I'm sorry. I'm going to make sure I said the name right.
Meiko.
Meiko. Thank you. See, can I get a high five for that? Because I know you always show me. High five. Boom.
No.
That was the most violent high five I've ever had in my life. Oh, my God, my hand. My wrist is like this. But Meiko against Roxanne, Captain, I would like for you to open up. What did you think about this match?
I think that they deserve more time. I think that they need to learn how to get the timing right for these main events, because it's becoming a reoccurring thing of them heavily promoting these main events and then giving them like 5 minutes. I'm tired of that. So they got to figure it out. They did good this week because they cut out Hank. Now they can get Duke as well. And we'll have more time for the main event, the one that you spend the whole week promoting heavily. And we barely got to see. Like, I feel like with the time they had, of course, these women are extraordinary in the ring. So, of course.
He's a Jack Packer. JD, you're part of the Jack Pack Empire. Yes. My empire is growing consistently. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to click. You were trying to sit in.
It's fine.
You meant to click that. Oh, I'm sorry. I won't touch it. I know what you meant to click. I meant to go up, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Honestly, thank you, Jeffrey. Like, the match literally started at 9:50. Like, are you joking?
That was weird.
And they had to rush it to do that dramatic ass ending, which I know everyone was like, "Oh my god, you worry about?" I obviously think this was not like realistic, because the camera wouldn't have followed them all the way.
No.
For sure. I think Cora put something in Roxanne's drink. Or maybe it could have been Tiffany too. If somebody put something in her drink and she was just feeling too much at the end. And then Meiko, because remember when Meiko was getting them hits, she was like, pop, 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 pop. Okay, she didn't do that, but definitely was beating on her head. And I was like, Meiko, you is whooping her ass. You better calm down.
not for nothing. You made it. I don't know if you play Street Fighter, but that sounds like some damn Street Fighter. Meiko was really whooping her ass so badly. I said, man, if I was in the ring with her, my medical would not be able to cover this ass whooping because she was whooping her ass. But I do like the structure of the match where it made Roxanne look very vulnerable, made her weak. Not necessarily weak, but made her look like she was going to lose. I mean, I don't think anyone thought she was going to lose. Meiko did a great job dominating her. And I mean that in so much respect. Like, she dominated, but Roxanne getting that roll-up win. And even when she won, it was like a drummer practicing at home is the ultimate heel move. Yes. This is why he's a part. Look, right here. I know it bothers you that my empire is growing every day in front of you. Yeah, JD, just so
hello,
I need.
By the way.
Huh?
I said hello, JD. I didn't say it. I didn't say hi, so I'm saying hi.
I JD, put Jack Pack Empire. I need to know you're part of the faction. Because it's growing every day. We're like the NWO in the 90s. We just keep growing for no reason.
It's actually a cult. So
it works. I believe that. So I wanted to ask, you said that she put something in somebody's drink talking about Cora J.
Something, because the way she just passed out was like something had to have happened, been put in something to make her just randomly pass out. She just had this match and she just randomly passed out. Something's up. Something's up. And it has the name of either Cora Jade or Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Epiphany Stratton.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to get something. I would never. You're part of this group. You're forever. And look at the newest member right here.
JD, are you kidding me, JD? This is sick. This is so sick. I can't.
I'm telling you, every day the Jackpack Empire is growing. It's going to demolish. Watch your back, King the Conqueror. Watch out, New Avengers. The biggest threat here is the Jackpack Empire. The Nick Cannon Wars have nothing against this group.
I hate you. It's not a Von Wagner shirt. No, it's not. Don't do me. Don't do me like that. This is sick.
But that was.
Is it like a requirement for people in the Jackpack community to attack me?
No, we're just smart. It's a smart community, and we just make fun of people like George. Sorry, Shay. I heard the Jack. We do. Yes. That's that. There we go. That's right. What do you guys have? And the Shay, whatever, because you go through multiple names. We stick to one name.
We have medical. We have paid therapy if you need it. We also give you free sneakers. We also give you toothpaste just because if you want it. We give you nice UGG boots and a free membership to
membership.
I just want to curse today. Can I curse in peace today? Membership for whatever gym. I don't gym a lot, but if you want the gym, we'll get you a free membership to whatever gym you would like. You just have to provide it to us, and we have to contact the gym.
I'm not gonna lie. You got me when you said the toothpaste. I was like, damn, that's good.
Thank you.
That's so good. Damn,
I try to be there for.
No, you're tremendous. I gotta give you credit where credit is due. But I'm not the bank, so I won't do any such thing. But that is, I know. Please don't soft block me. But anyway, but that's the show. That is pretty much NXT. I hope you guys enjoyed ROADBLOCK. I hope you enjoyed this review. We're gonna do some plugs real quick for this other shows going on here on Unpopular Review. There's so much stuff going on. Excuse me, my nose was.
Oh, also.
Sure, go ahead.
There wasn't really a lot of matches they really talked about happening next week, but we do have one thing for next week. We don't need the music for this, but Johnny Gargano will be addressing the NXT universe on his.
Whoa!
Oh, it's giving hater.
I hate you.
Wow.
He should have minded his business. He should have sat here and got demolished and dominated by one Bronson Reed and tried to get his family in order. So he wants to sit here and help out Shawn Michaels, who's looking like the guy from Home Alone 2. I'm disgusted at this. Shawn Michaels, you're sitting here. You've been trying to ruin my life for years. No. And you're doing it again by bringing Johnny Gargano, who I like, and you're bringing him out here and making me boo him. I hate that I'm doing this. Why am I booing him? You know who I boo? Baloney. Baloney, people who eat baloney. And that's where he is. He's on the baloney list.
Fickle.
What's the next thing, Captain?
Look at you. You know what? The fact that you are even saying this lets me know that you were considering because you liked what I had to offer. Because I didn't even say no names specifically. So that means that you were feeling what the Sawyer community has to offer.
He will never leave.
Just think about it, but he thought about it. So you just
no, he never thought about it. I already know. I have Darth Vader power.
Hold your empire accountable. He thought about it.
Can you stop yelling at me?
Don't start.
Like stop.
He gonna start in trouble.
This Steve guy who's standing by the window. You know what, Steve? Standing by the window. Thank you for joining us. We like that. Someone standing by the window. That is so mean. I like Johnny Gargano. I just don't like his decision making. He's making like hood decisions, and I'm not a fan of that.
Hood decisions. Yeah, hood decisions, because he's getting his lick back. Yeah.
You know what, George? You think you're funny, you're clever, but I've been challenging you for the longest time. Me and you have our WrestleMania moment. Me and you on the mic, because I would dominate you. And yet you hide behind the keyboard, so you remove that sad guy, Jack. There's nothing sad about me. There's a lot of sad guy. Who's writing all that? Who's writing all that? That's such good speed. Who's writing all that? Is that Sonic the Hedgehog?
That was great. Yeah.
No, Sonic would never turn on me.
Could be Barry.
I fucking hate him. I hate him with his yellow boots.
Me too, Jeffrey.
Katrina, fun fact, she will be here for a review show, actually. I mean, she revealed it at Women's Talk because you guys did a show last Thursday. I gotta say, Katrina, she's a friend of the show. She's a friend of ours. She's great, but she doesn't know what she's going to deal with when we are all on there. Team Rude and the bad guy for NXT in a few weeks. But let's any other thing to review, because I didn't mean to extend this, but anything else that we for next week? Real quick, Wesley, he is going to have another open challenge next week.
No, he's facing Axiom, but they didn't have a graphic for it, unfortunately.
But I still wanted to throw this up here. But yes, he's having an open challenge against Axiom next week. That should be a really good one. And there's nothing else, right? For next week?
No.
Nope. Okay, and that's cool. You guys are great. So we're gonna do some quick plugs real quick, and we're gonna call it a night because we went a little bit longer than we thought. But let's Kat, why don't you take the lead on this because you do a great job on this. What happens on Mondays at 6 p.m.?
We have Perfect Plex Talk and Radio. And it is with Mike Knox. That's 3 X's. This is for the intelligent wrestling fan. He goes over all the current events going on. I'm sure he'll be talking about the MJF incident, so definitely tune into that.
Oh, yeah.
6 p.m. on Monday.
Absolutely. You can catch us here on Tuesdays, but also on Wednesdays we have. Why don't you take the floor on this?
We have the All Elite couple for the AEW Dynamite review show directly after directly after AEW. I still have NXT on the mind. And it'll be good. Listen, they have good topics, good things that they discuss. So definitely, tune in.
Yes. I'm sorry. I had to get myself together because she said NXT. I was going to say, wait, did it move back to Wednesdays? Because I'm used to doing Tuesdays. I don't know what I can do here. Can you do a Mike Knox impersonation?
I don't know if I can because he was like, "Good morning," and he starts really low out of nowhere.
No, you gotta do something like, "Let me tell you something," and he'll say, "I'm not gonna lie to you," which I always say, "Thank you for not lying to me." I always appreciate him not lying to me. George, you're very disrespectful, very, very rude.
Speak your truth, nice. George.
No, George. Matter of fact, you just lost 5 points. Now you're gonna get you're not a good noodle. You're not part of the good noodle thing.
Stop it.
He's not a good noodle. I'm sure Tony. Oh, that was so rude. On Wednesday, I don't know if we're gonna have a show tomorrow. I know I won't be on for tomorrow. I don't know if C and Vic are still gonna do one, but we're reviewing The Flash. I think we're on episode 4, I think, or 5. I don't know. But there's a Flash review on the UPR entertainment side. But also to Cap, you were busy later this week too. Are you all right? Did you just
bend my neck? Ow! It hurt.
Captain, the captain, when she heals, when her healing factor kicks in, you have a show on Thursday. So please, why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
Yes. So this coming Thursday, it'll be myself and Aisha Lomax for Women's Wrestling Army After Show, 5 p.m. And we have a very, very special guest, but I will not speak. I will let you guys be surprised by it. And then at 7 p.m. on that same day, we have the NXT After Show where Sense reigns supreme, Common Sense specifically. And we'll get to talk about how evil Grayson Waller is on Women's Wrestling Talk specifically.
And the link is in the chat, so please click those links to see her on Thursday. And also, real quick, because we got a project of our own that we got going. No, you don't. You just can't give yourself that. That's not how this works, Georgie. I'm telling you right now, the week before WrestleMania, me and you. And you know what? I have to pick the ref, though. I have to pick the ref. You can't do that.
No, I'm picking the ref.
Damn. That's fucked up.
Because you're going to try and make it be H-Man, and that's just not fair.
I miss H-Man. I hope he's okay. Like, I'm kind of sad. I kind of want to just end the show. But real quick, I got to tell C to put the...
I want to see that movie, too, so...
Oh, you do? Oh, Cocaine Bear?
Yeah.
That movie just looked like a trip, actually.
You know what?
Sure.
That movie kind of... You ever notice, like, throughout the year, there'll be that one movie that gets put out that's, like, so random, but it's actually hilarious? So, remember, I think it was a year or two ago, or it might have been a little bit further, but there was this thing with these 3 kids, and they went on this whole journey. I forgot the name of it, but it was such a good movie, and I went to go see it on a whim. It wasn't even, like, something that I meant to see, and I feel like Cocaine Bear kind of falls in that same category because it's just so absurd. It's
that random movie that you're like, I didn't have plans to see it, but I might go see this, right? Like if it's in that category, I can understand that. Real quick, what can you tell them about although Shay is going to be the ref? You just can't make the rules with your Burlington Factory sweater. How dare you? There's nothing wrong with
Burlington Factory.
No, it's great. I went my mother shopped there, so who am I to make fun of it? Matter of fact, I bought some headphones from there, so I'm not making fun of it. Just making fun of George. But what about this? What do we have on Mondays at 12, Kat?
Monday, we always have a new episode of the Big Pop Theory podcast. This past week, we spoke on AEW Revolution. That happened, so we had to give it its time. We did speak heavily on Bray Wyatt, and there will be a reel up probably by tomorrow with a little bit of a clip from that. So every Monday at 12, new episode.
It's a fun time. It's a great time. You guys are great. You guys are fun. I just want to look in the chat real quick to see, because I feel like you clicked all the thing, but let me see what else we got going on here. H-Man, you got to invite George. I would have loved to invite George on the show if he wants to deal with me with some verbiage, but that's really much the show. We want to sit here and say, once again, thank you guys for watching Unpopular View. Thank you for just dealing with our nonsense, because there was a party here. You guys make the party. So regardless if you're part of Jetpack Empire or the Shea Squad or Sawyer Squad, we sit here and say, we thank you guys for watching us. Thank you for giving some thoughts. And we hope you guys had a great time. And with that all said, let me just get ready to get to the thing real quick, Kat. Kat, floor is yours. Any last word before we go home?
My only last word is you're great. You're great.
Thank you.
All of you. Not
Thank
you. Stop it. Enough. All of you in the chat and everyone that decided to come in today and listen to our psychobabble. Thank you.
Order in the court. But with that said, you guys are great. Thank you for watching us on Unpopular. Don't be shaken by that. You know I had a mallet. And with that said, Kat, why don't you say goodbye to the lovely people? Bye, lovely people. You guys rock. Thank you for watching the Unpopular View NXT Review Show. And we say goodnight. Cap, say goodnight to them.
Good night.
Good night, thanks.